The Warhammer 40k channel is back with another video battle report, this time featuring the 17th Shetland Light Dragoons. This is my Imperial Guard army. It is consisting of 3 primary psychers who form a Supreme Command detachment for 1 command point, and then a battalion. The battalion is consisting of 1 captain. He's got a plasma pistol and power sword, a lieutenant behind him, 3 light squads of infantrymen. They got the autocannons, a flamer, a voxcaster in each squad. Sergeants have chain swords. Another lieutenant leading the 1st Independent Engineer Company from Shetland. Both those engineer squads have 3 grenade launchers in the voxcaster. They have 2 chimeras as dedicated transports. Over here on the left, we have a Militarum Tempestus leader. He has the route of command, and he's going to be leading these 3 squads of Tempestus Scions. The first squad has 2 plasma guns. The second squad has 2 multi-guns. The third squad has 2 grenade launchers. The first 2 that you see here both have power swords. The sergeant in the back has a chain sword. As far as heavy support, we have 2 manticores and 2 Lehman Roost demolishers, each with 3 heavy flamers. Altogether, that's 1,848 points. A Supreme Command detachment and a battalion detachment gives me 7 command points. So let's see what the Blood Angels have. Daniel's back on the channel with his Blood Angels, getting ready for another report. What you got?
The Blood Angels are rocking the battalion detachment today as they face off against a confused Imperial detachment who seem to have mistaken them for the world leaders. I mean, I guess I can kind of understand that.
Absolutely.
First, we have the 2 tactical squads, 10 man, with the flamer and the heavy flamer. The sergeant of the first squad has a Inferno pistol and a power sword. The sergeant of the second squad has a plasma pistol and a power sword. Then we have the 7-man scout squad, all equipped with sniper rifles. For the 3 headquarter units that I have for the detachment, you have Mephiston, the Lord of Death, a Tech Marine, and then, of course, the Chapter Master, Commander Dante. We also have a Death Company Dreadnought and an elite choice, rocking the Blood Claws with the Magna Grapples, and then the Storm Bolter and the Heavy Flamer. We have the Ball Predator with the Flame Storm Cannon, dual flamers on the sides, sponsons, and then a Storm Bolter on top, as well as a Standard Predator with twin las cannons on the side, Storm Bolter at top. And one of my personal favorite units and the best buy I think I've ever made, the Storm Raven gunship with the twin las cannons, the twin multi-meltas, and then the twin Storm Strike missiles. And that is 1,844 points. Just a battalion detachment giving me 6 command points total. Mephiston, once again, knows all 3 of the sanguinary powers: Blood Boil, Shield of Sanguinius, and Unleash Rage on top of Smite.
Alright, we'll be back with deployment and mission. Alright, so the Maelstrom of War mission that we are playing is Tactical Escalation. The battlefield deployment style is Spearhead Assault. Daniel started placing his units first, I placed mine second, and clearly he finished first, so once we roll off to see who goes first, he'll have an advantage there. Tactical Escalation is a pretty common one. There's 6 objectives on the board. You got 1, 4, back here is 3, you got 1 back here, 1 up there. With that said, we need to roll off to see who goes first. Daniel, of course, gets a +1. My roll is a 6. 2 to 3, so that means I'm going first. You want to try to steal the initiative?
I will attempt to steal the initiative.
5 does not quite do it.
Nope.
Command point?
Nope.
That would be silly. Alright, we'll be back to you after Guard turn 1 movement. Turn 1 movement for the Astra Militarum, the Shelties. They drew overwhelming firepower. Couldn't be more happy about that. As far as movement, I moved this back tank up a little bit, and he went ahead and popped his smoke. And then this tank moved out of cover towards objective number 1. Everything else pretty much stayed where it's at, awaiting the incoming Blood Angel assault. So next we got turn 1. Really forgot the psychic phase, so with the Primaris Psyker right there, he was able to cast Psychic Barrier on that Chimera. When I originally rolled it, it was a 12, so I went ahead and spent a command point to reroll the dice so I didn't lose that Psyker and cause a bunch of mortal wounds. So that one now has a 2-up armor save. So now on to shoot. So in the shooting phase, the Imperial Guard gave its orders to the autocannons in the building when I was shooting at these scouts. Didn't manage to kill any combination of good armor saves and mediocre rolling on my part. The 2 Manticores both fired off one of their rockets and did a total of 6 damage to Daniel's Predator. So that's going to bracket him down 1. He's got 5 wounds remaining. This Leman Russ Demolisher managed to land 1 hit on the scouts up there. Those are some lucky scouts. They're doing well because despite doing 1 wound, he didn't do any damage as Daniel made his 5-up save. Lastly, this Chimera fired all the way down the street. Managed to kill 1 with the multi-laser. So all in all, did what I wanted to do, which is damage that Predator. So it will be Daniel's turn next. I didn't score any points. And that's okay, because we're going to get that next time and maybe do even better. So turn 1, Blood Angels coming.
Alright, so for Blood Angels turn 1 movement phase, I drew my tactical objective card, grabbed secure objective 4, which is over there with the Blood Angel tactical squad and the ball predator with the flamethrower cannon slowly moving forward, attempted to advance. They're still a little confused of why the Imperial Guard is shooting at them, so they're giving them a moment to realize that we are not in fact the world leaders, that we are the Blood Angels. This tactical squad over here also attempted to move forward. The Predator with the last cannon stayed behind because the Tech Marine disembarked and moved up towards it and was able to repair 1 hull point, putting it back into its its top tier wound category. The scouts stayed still, and then the Storm Raven moved forward to attempt to shoot at these Manticores and possibly even drop off a couple guys.
We'll see if it survives the next turn. Alright, so Blood Angels, turn 1. You don't have any Psychers on the board right now, right?
I can't cast psychic powers inside of vehicles.
Nope.
Then I do not have Psychers on the board.
Alright, sweet. So we go straight to the shooting phase.
Shooting phase. Alright, so for the shooting phase for the Blood Angels, the Storm Raven gunship moved forward, attacking both the Manticore and the Leman Russ. The Manticore with the las cannons and the multi-meltas managing to take off
5 wounds.
5 wounds from it, and then failing to damage the Manticore with the Storm Strike missile.
You spent 1 command point to reroll the damage done to the Manticore with the last cannon, and you went from a 1 to a 2.
It's a 100% increase in damage. The snipers shot at the squad up on the top of the building over there, managing to do 4 wounds with 1 mortal wound. The squad was able to duck under cover and save themselves from 2 of the wounds, taking a grand total of 3 wounds. Nothing else.
The story of the round.
The last cannon, the last Predator was able to fire at the Demolisher Leman Russ, taking it down to 3 hit points.
Yeah, so devastating. I'd hoped to cripple that in the first turn, and I did. Unfortunately, that Tech Priest repaired 1 wound, which was just enough, and almost completely destroyed that Leman Russ. So with that, Daniel's got no assaults this turn. And I got 1 morale check to make. You don't score any points, do you?
I do not score any points at this time.
On 6, I lose a guy. That's a 5. The +1 leadership from the commander comes in handy. The squad is safe. So we go to Imperial Guard, turn 2.
Lancaster Boulevard.
Imperial Guard, turn 2, we drew Advance, which we're going to start at the earliest opportunity. As far as movement, starting here on my right, I moved a Psyker up a level so he can unleash the Emperor's rage against his fallen sons, at least who we assume are his fallen sons. And that Psyker right back there can see through the window at the Storm Raven as well. That's probably like our ambush. This Leman Russ moved up 4 inches to get in the range of the Storm Raven with his flamers. And this one just moved out 10 inches, not in flamer range, but that's okay. Over on the left, we kept this Chimera still. We had lost 3 guys here, but everyone's remained in place. The only other thing to talk about on this turn is I brought in 2 units of Scions with the Meltas and the Plasmas, along with the Tempestus Prime, so they're ready to unleash hell as well. So next up, Imperial Guard Psychic Phase. Starting on the left, we got Shield off on our Chimera, so it's a 2-up save for him again. Over on the right, got both my smites off, rolled 1 for damage each time, but we did manage to do 2 mortal wounds to the Storm Raven, and that's going to leave it on 12, it looks like. So a little bit of damage, not as much as we hoped. We'll see what else we can accomplish here. So on to Imperial Guard. So the Imperial Guard shooting phase, we started with the orders over here, and all the autocannons were hitting on 5s for the Storm Raven. Got a couple of damage in, as a matter of fact it's down to 8 now, but we'll come back to that. With the Scions who dropped in here, orders given by the Tempestus Prime were to reroll 1s to hit. As you can see, the Predator is no longer there. It did get help from a Manitor, because he had 1 wound remaining. Daniel spent a command point trying to reroll the save, but failed, and the Manitor managed to strike, giving me first blood, and also one command card. This Demolisher here used his heavy flamers, didn't do much damage, unfortunately. Pitiful roll to wound. That Demolisher scored 4 hits on the squad, and they made 3 5-up saves. It was pretty incredible. Manitor is the first one shot down there in order to destroy the Predator. The second one here shot at the Flyer, managed to do 3 hits. Only did 1 wound, used a command point to reroll it and got it, but then Daniel made 2 5-up saves. So his decks are definitely hot. But at the end of the round, I do score overwhelming firepower. I do score first blood, and I'm going to discard advance, so the score is now 2-0 Imperial Guard, with the Blood Angels getting ready to romp.
Alright, so for the movement phase, the first thing that happened was the Storm Raven dropped off the Death Company Dreadnought in front of the Leman Russ, as well as Dante and Mephiston, who moved in to face down the Chimera and these Psykers that don't know what they're doing. Manticore. The attack squad over here moved around the building in an attempt to close in on the Stormtroopers back here. The Storm Raven turned tail and fled, moving back to the Tech Marine, who was able to heal it for 2 damage. And up here, slowly but surely, this tactical squad is moving forward on the objective.
We're marching into its own death. Alright, so we go to Psychic Phase. Turn 2.
So for the Blood Angel Psychic Phase, Mephiston, the Lord of Death, managed to unleash Dante's rage so that he might be able to teach these errant Imperial Guards what the meaning of pain is. He was, however, unable to smite the Manticore.
Yeah, I failed to... Well, Daniel spent 1 command point after he rolled a 6 for the Unleash Rage to roll another 1, so it was still a 6, but I did not block it. Did not deny the witch, rolling a double 1 there. So on to the shooting phase.
Right, with the shooting phase, Dante and Mephiston fired at their plasma and inferno pistols at the Manticore, only managing to do 1 damage. The Death Company Dreadnought used its heavy flamer and its storm bolter against the Leman Russ, doing 1 damage as well. The scouts fired up at the top squad, once again killing 1 person out of the squad.
Yeah, they're feeling picked on.
This tactical squad over here shot its heavy flamer at the at the
Stormtroopers.
stormtroopers, and also fired all its bolters at the stormtroopers, managing to kill 5 in the end. The Tech Marine was a little bit too far away to use his flamer, and then the Storm Raven advanced, so was not able to fire. I shouldn't have actually fired them because they advanced as well.
That's okay, because they did nothing against my super armored Chimera.
Yes.
Okay? So on to assaults, of course.
So, to start out with the assault phase of the Blood Angels, the Death Company Dreadnought, long-standing but lost to the Black Rage and his fury at these Imperials deigning to shoot on him. Obviously, they're traitors and heretics. Ripped apart a Lehman Russ, and then in his insatiable rage moved 6 inches forward to get in contact with the second Lehman Russ.
You mentioned that the Lehman Russ exploded?
The Lehman Russ did explode, doing damage to both.
Yeah, I took 3 mortal wounds, Daniel took 2 mortal wounds, and then an additional wound was taken off that Dreadnought when my Lehman Russ back here counterattacked, and so he's down to 5, I'm down to 9.
Over here, Mephiston and Dante attacked the Chimera and the Primaris. Dante was unable to end the Chimera, only doing a total of 3 wounds. However, Dante was able to just demolish the Psyker, and then move to get into base contact with the Chimera.
Okay.
There were no other assaults.
There is one morale test to take. I'm going to spend 2 command points in order to save this squad right here from having to take it. I took the sergeant as a casualty to make the charge range a little bit longer, so I'm not risking that. That would be an automatic fail.
I did, however, score blood and guts. I scored 1 victory point if an enemy unit was destroyed during the fight phase of this turn. However, I just missed destroying 3 or more enemy units during this fight phase.
All right, Imperial Guard turn 3 coming up. It's a near close one. Daniel's on 1 point, I'm on 2, but we're drawing more and more cards as we go along. So let's see what happens next.
Walk away from there, okay?
So for my turn 3 cards, I pulled Defend Objective 6, Mission Critical Objective 6, and Secure Objective 1. Objective 1 is right here, while 6 is on the 3rd floor of those ruins way back there. As far as movement, my Primary Psyker moved around, getting ready to smite Mephiston, hopefully, maybe charge him if need be. I popped this Chimera out a little bit, so he's got some line of sight. Everything else on the left stayed still, except for this squad, moved slightly up towards the barricade to start putting some effective fire on those guys. As far as over here, my last unit of Tempestus Science Stormtroopers came in via graph shoot, 9 inches away from the Tech Priest. Moved these guys up as well, and these guys went to the walls to have a staring contest at those Blood Angels. So we'll be back with the Psychic phase. Imperial Guard, Psychic phase, turn 3. My Primary Psyker manifested Smite, but was denied by Mephiston. That would have been critical. And my other Primary Psyker over here managed to cast Shield once again on the Chimera for that 2-up save. So, be back after the shoot. Imperial Guard shooting phase. We're going to start with where we gave our orders, which is up in this building to start. Gave everyone the reroll 1s to hit, some last guns down here, and the 3 autocannons combined with this Chimera managed to destroy the squad that was advancing towards Objective 4 to a man. So I felt pretty good about that. Over here, the squad that just jumped in, and this squad, with some orders help, managed to take 3 wounds off the Tech Priest. Was really hoping to kill him, but did not. And this squad right here managed to kill one of these guys with the Melt-A-Gun, and then they called in from fire from my last Manticore that's not decisively engaged, and managed to kill an additional 4, so he's lost 5 from that squad. Otherwise, the Chimera down there shooting at the scout snipers, which had been really hard to root out of this cover, didn't manage to do any damage. But overall, really destroyed a squad and a half, so I feel pretty good about that. And then that guy's on 1 wound, so we'll now go to the charge phase. That assault phase could have scarcely gone worse. My Psyker did 1 wound, he made the save and then got killed. And then Dante killed Manticore back there, so that was not good, but was to be expected. I was hoping the Psyker could take that guy out between the smite and everything else, but no luck. Over here, all these guys charged in, did quite a few wounds. Daniel only failed one save, and then he used a command die to reroll it. Killed 2 Scions in return. I made my morale test. Daniel failed his morale test, having lost 5 Marines over here, but rerolling it, managed to then pass it with the "and they shall know no fear" roll. So don't score any points this turn. We'll see what happens for Blood Angels turn 3. Alrighty.
Movement phase. Dante and Mephiston moved up closer to both the Manticore and the Chimera in an attempt to negate their roles on the battlefield. The Ball Predator moved up 12 inches, however, I believe it put him just out of range of his flamers to this squad here, or this one here. The Storm Raven and the Tech Priest disengaged and moved back a little so that the Tech Priest could at least do one more turn of healing up. The Storm Raven managing to heal 1 wound, which isn't great, but better than nothing. The remaining 5 guys in the attack squad moved up close to the window so they can attempt to fill the building with fire and then charge in and face the remaining guys. The scout squad remained where they are, and the dreadnought remained locked in combat with the Leman Russ.
Blood Angels turn 3 psychic phase.
For the psychic phase, Mephiston managed to both unleash the rage of himself, giving him +1 attack, as well as smiting the Manticore, doing 3 damage with a roll of a 6, bringing it down to 8 wounds.
Alright,
For the shooting phase, the Blood Angel shooting phase, Dante tried to shoot at the Chimera but was unable to damage it. Mephiston shot at the Manticore and was able to do 1 wound to it. Over here with the Ball Predator, was not within range of its Flamestorm or Flamers, however it was able to shoot at this middle squad with its Stormbolter, killing 1. The Storm Raven managed to do a little bit of damage to
Killed 4 guys.
squad of Stormtroopers,
Killed 4 guys.
killing 4 guys. And then this tack squad over here, using its pistols and its flamers, was able to kill 3 guys out of the squad. And the snipers attempted to shoot at that squad and killed 1.
Yep. With the mortal wound.
So the tactical killed 2, and the scouts killed 1.
Alright, now on to the assault phase. Blood Angels turn 3 assault phase.
With the assault phase, Mephiston was able to blow up the last, well, not blow up because it didn't explode, but wreck the last Manticore. Dante whittled away at the Chimera, but was unable to kill it, bringing it down to 6 wounds instead.
So Mephiston lost a wound on Overwatch as well, I believe. He's down to 1.
He did.
And then he actually saved against a rocket that hit him square in the chest. He needed a 4 to save, and he saved, otherwise that would have been the end of him.
They don't call him the Lord of Death for nothing.
Well, we'll see. Okay.
The Death Company Dreadnought was able to bring the Leman Russ down to 4 wounds, only able to get 1 through in the end.
But he rolled a 5, so it was pretty good.
Over here, with the TAC Marines, the Tactical Marines were able to take out the last Stormtrooper remaining at the window, moving into the building, and about to wreak some havoc, hopefully, on some guard guys.
Alright, well, did you score any points this turn? That's going to be the question. Well, I go ahead and roll my morale because that squad lost 4. Their leadership is 7, so let's see how we do.
Distance here.
5. I'm going to re-roll that. You scored.
I scored 1.
4 plus 4 is 8, so I'll lose 1 additional guy from that squad over there, and that was my last command point to re-roll that. Keep those plasma guns busy.
I secured objective 4.
So that's 2 points for you, correct?
That is 2 points for me.
Okay, I'm going to take my sergeant out of here because I failed my morale test. I spent a command point to re-roll it, but that's okay. So we go on to Imperial Guard, turn 4. Imperial Guard, turn 4, we drew no prisoners, which requires us to kill at least 1 unit During my turn, if 3 to 5 units have been destroyed, I get D3 points. For movement, we went ahead and jumped the Independent Engineer Company boys out of the Chimera, and they have surrounded Mephiston, Lord of Death. The Chimera remains engaged, and the platoon leader is more than 1 inch away from both those guys. So he's just going to stand there and give some orders. Should have done this last turn, but moved my tank out of combat. This Chimera put these engineers into this building. I'm now within 3 inches of that objective number 1, which is one of my cards. So I should be able to secure that at the end of the turn. The Chimera, after I drop those guys off, move forward up to that flame tank, which scares me. The building stayed still, except for the Psyker came out. He's looking to probably go ahead and smite that guy. Over here, the Tempesta Scions. The 2 remaining plasma guns came over. The commander has moved forward to take charge of the situation himself. They'll be putting 4 shots into those Marines. The rest of the Scions advanced up there and are now within 3 inches of objective number 6. Of course, I have a mission to secure it and also to defend it. So, lots to do over here. Hopefully get some points. We've been pretty points poor. First off, the psychic phase. Matter of fact, we'll go ahead and do psychic and shooting and then come back. So, Imperial Guard, turn 4, psychic phase. My Primaris Psyker. I got smite off, but only managed to roll 1 wound. But we'll come back to that ball predator later. So in the shooting phase, started with some orders. These guys who hopped out of the Chimera were given the order by the lieutenant. You can see him clearly pointing at Mephiston. He says, "Bring that guy down." While they all shot at him with 3 crack grenades and a whole bunch of shotguns and managed to do no wounds. So that was disappointing. This was locked in combat, so couldn't shoot. This one moved out of combat, so couldn't shoot. Back to orders. The platoon leader still hiding back here, along with the company commander, who was hiding down there, giving orders left and right. Managed to do a lot of work with the autocannons. This went from full health down to 3 wounds, mostly due to the autocannons. It was really good work. These engineers didn't manage to do any damage to the dreadnought. They did score 2 wounds. Unbelievably, with the orders, the Space Marines back here, we hit them 3 times with the plasma guns, wounded them 3 times, and then Daniel made 3 5-up saves. We did manage to give the order for them to shoot after advancing and did kill one of them, but that's probably not going to be enough, but we'll have to see. So I think that's it for shooting. Daniel, did I miss anything?
Nope.
It's a very tense game. We're going to go to turn 4 assault for the Imperial Guard. Okay, so start of Blood Angels turn 4, we did the movement and shooting phase. Just to recap Daniel's objectives, he has Witch Hunter, secure objective 6, hold the line, and supremacy, which requires him to have 3 objectives. So if you want to go through, Daniel, your movement and your shooting.
Movement phase, the ball predator moved back 6 inches, taking him away from the Chimera.
And he's also holding objective
But
4.
holding objective 4. The
Scouts
drop down, advance forward to stand in front of the church to hold objective 2. The Death Company Dreadnought stayed where it is, and will eventually charge to attempt to take objective 1. Over here, the Tech Marine moved forward up next to the building, and then the Storm Raven gunship moved over behind the building. With the shooting phase, Dante shot his Inferno pistol into the Chimera, managing to take off an additional 3 wounds.
down to 4.
Down to 4. The Death Company Dreadnought attacked the squad with his Heavy Flamer and his Storm Bolter, killing 2.
Yes.
The Storm Raven shot in all of its weapons, its las cannons, its multi-meltas, and its Storm Strike missile into the squad of Stormtroopers, managing, I believe he killed 3.
3 indeed.
And then the Tech Marine shot his Flamer up into the squad, managing to kill 1.
And lastly, the Infernus pistol on the sergeant down here missed my Tempester Prime, thankfully. So
Not the Tempester Prime, that guy.
Oh, you would have had to shoot the Tempester Prime because
Oh,
he was closer with the pistol.
Okay.
He missed regardless, so we're on to the assault phase. It's close.
With the assault phase, Chimera and Dante traded blows. The Chimera managed to hit Dante, but did not manage to damage him. Dante, on the other hand, was able to do 3 damage to the Chimera, bringing him down to 1 whole point. Over with the Death Company Dreadnought. The Death Company Dreadnought was able to kill
3 additional guys.
3 additional guys on top of what he killed in the shooting phase.
So big morale test for them coming up.
Over here, the tactical squad managed to kill both the Prime, the Tempestus Prime, as well as the Stormtrooper, consolidating a little bit closer to the other guys up there. The Tech Marine jumped into the middle of battle, managing to kill a number of guys. I can't remember exactly.
He rolled a 10 on the charge, and so he just flew up there.
I
think he only killed 1 or 2.
He only killed 1 or 2, but he still managed to kill a couple of them. And they've also got a bit of a save coming ahead of them.
Absolutely. So, morale test. We're going to start here. I've lost 5 this turn. Their leadership is 7. And I roll a 6, so they're gone. Blast. And these guys, they roll a 4 plus 5, 9. So they lose 2 additional guys. So we will still contest that objective. But we're not going to get defend objective 6. Since those guys are gone. Daniel, you do get secure objective 6 for a point. That also, not supremacy, no.
Yes, 3 objectives.
1, 2, 3. I get supremacy.
Okay, yeah, you're right. So supremacy as well for D3. 3. All right, so Imperial Guard turn 5 coming up.
That's a direct order. Do it now.
Okay, for Imperial Guard turn 5. Score right now is Daniel 7, me 5. But we gotta recalculate that. I got defend objective 1, which is currently being defended by a Blood Angels Dreadnought. Secure objective 2, and objective number 2 is currently being defended by Blood Angel Snipers. Secure objective 3. Objective number 3, I think, is one that actually works out for me. Yes, right there. So I feel pretty good about my chances to secure that one. Defend objective 6. We all know how that ended. Not so good in domination. I'm not going to get that. So kind of a tough round for me here, but we're going to do what we can. As far as movement, move the Chimera up to keep pace with the Rhino, and then move my Psyker up to make sure he's within 18 inches. So I'm going to try to get a smite off on that. I disengaged my veterans from the Dreadnought because that was scary. And then my engineers over here have surrounded Dante as the Chimera moved out. And lastly, I just bumped this up a little bit so he has heavy flamers ready to go. So with that, we'll go ahead and do our psychic and shooting phase and come back after that. Perhaps foolishly, perhaps not, my engineers assaulted the Dante. They didn't manage to do any wounds. And they took 5 casualties in return. 6 casualties in return. Rolled a 3 for the morale, so they lost an additional 2, but they have at least tied him up for a little bit. Thought about assaulting the tank into the Dreadnought, but that was silly, so I didn't do that. All in all, at the end of the turn, I did manage to secure objective 3, and I will be discarding domination. So we move into Blood Angel's turn. Start of his turn, Daniel has Witch Hunter, secure objective 3, hold the line, overwhelming firepower in behind enemy lines. So, let's we keep knocking this objective over. This is 2?
Yes, that's
Okay.
2.
Alright, so go ahead and take us through.
So the first thing that I moved was the Storm Raven. The Storm Raven moved from this corner up over into towards that corner where he has a large amount of people set up. The Death Company Dreadnought just turned around and faced off against the Lehman Russ. The Sniper Squad advanced from the church into the ruins, and that was my movement. The shooting phase, the Storm Raven gunship managed to take down the Chimera and killed 1 member of the squad in there. I can't remember if he...
Yeah, he did a wound with the flamer.
He did do a wound with the flamer. Dante killed a guy with his Inferno pistol. And then that was what happened in the shooting phase. During the assault phase, the Death Company Dreadnought jumped into the Lehman Russ, managing to do an additional 2 points of damage.
Did 1 point of damage.
1 point of damage.
Over 1 on the damage.
Yeah, 1 on the damage, and took 1 damage from the Overwatch
Yep.
with the Flamers. Dante managed to kill the 1 guy remaining that was with him and consolidated into the Chimera, and that was my turn. For the turn,
Hold on. Alright, go ahead, show us what you scored.
For the turn, I managed to score hold the line,
Yep.
score 1 victory point if you have at least 3 units completely within your deployment
Yep.
zone, which is the reason why I moved the scouts back there, and then I have the tech marine and the tactical squad back here as well,
Sure.
and he has no people there. Overwhelming firepower, score 1 victory point if an enemy unit was destroyed during the shooting phase, which was the
Yep.
Storm Raven killing the Chimera. And then behind enemy lines, score 1 victory point if you have at least 1 unit completely within the enemy's deployment zone at the end of your turn.
So good round.
Which I have Dante back there.
Yeah, I am the Dreadnought. So what was your special missions? that you
It
picked?
was Seize Ground.
Seize ground, so 2 of those. Oh god. Let's see if the game continues on a 3 up. You get to roll this, Daniel, since you went second this game. That is a 4, so we'll go to turn 6. See if that helps. Why not?
5 Adam.
So my turn 6, I got defend objective 1, which is over there, but I got defend it. Good luck with that. Secure objective 2. Good luck with that. It's right there. Master the warp, scour the skies, area denial, and of course defend objective 6. I just moved my psyker around and surrounded him, so Daniel doesn't get an easy point there. He cast smite and did 2 wounds to the Storm Raven, so it's down to 9. I advanced these guys out in order to get near objective 1, which they are now, and a bunch of shooting at the Storm Raven resulted in nothing, and I put 2 autocannon shots into the Dreadnought, nothing. The only other thing left to say is this Chimera managed to survive a round of combat with Dante. He only did 1 wound, and I rolled a 6 for the save, so at the end, I will go ahead and secure Master the Warp and Area Denial.
What's Master the Warp?
Just cast it, psychic spell. So that's good there. So that's an additional 2 points for me. We'll go to Blood Angels turn 6.
So for Blood Angels turn 6, the scout squad, which accidentally left a guy behind, moved forward up into next to objective 2 near the church. The Tech Marine and the TAC squad also advanced out of this building forward. The Death Company Dreadnought stayed where he was. The Storm Raven dropped out of hover mode and moved towards the squad. During the shooting phase, the Storm Raven managed to kill, I believe,
2 guardsmen.
2 guardsmen. The Death Company Dreadnought was able to kill the 3 engineers. However, in return, he turned around, assaulted the Lehman Russ, which managed to hit him with his battle cannon and blew him up. Though he did not explode. Dante managed to kill the Chimera, sending it into oblivion, and then did not explode, and he started moving towards this lone little guy that's chilling out over here.
Alright, so what do we score?
We secured objective 2.
Okay.
And then I managed to advance all of my guys out of the deployment zone.
Alright, so let's roll. It's my turn to roll. On a 4 up, we go on. That's a 5, so we'll go on to the next turn. Turn 7, final turn.
Launcher, Citadel.
Not a bad draw, but not great either. So I'm sitting at defend objective 1, can't get. Secure objective 2, can't get. Scour the skies, possible. Assassinate, I'll try. Behind enemy lines, no way. Witch Hunter, he doesn't have any. And Big Game Hunter would also PCR the skies. This is the end of turn 6 for the Imperial Guard. It's turn 7. Just to show you, the Lehman Russ turned around and took 4 wounds off Dante. He actually hit him with a battle cannon, but Daniel made the 4-up invul save by rolling a 6. All the other wounds, the 4 other wounds, were done by the Heavy Flamer. Over here, my primary psyker decided to take matters in his own hands. He smited this for 2 and then charged in by himself. I wasn't able to do any wounds. So at that, that's going to end the game. So Daniel, how many points you got?
We're not gonna do my turn.
No, because you're already winning.
Yeah, but I would have taken another point.
Really?
Yeah.
This is how you don't get invited back to my channel.
Okay. Sorry. Yes.
You already won.
Thank you, Michael.
Oh my
Alright.
goodness.
So I got.
All right, so I ended up getting 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 with first blood. Daniel got much more than 10.
I got 4 for supremacy, 5, 6 for advance, 7, 8 for behind enemy lines, 9, 10 for hold the line, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, with 4 of them being from my chosen tactical priority.
And we all know you would gotten more if we would let you go on your turn. So
And then I got line breaker for having Dante behind enemy lines.
yeah, big win for you. Good job. We'll come back with a post-game wrap-up. A lot of fun as always. Talk to you soon. Okay, another exciting game on the War Corgi YouTube channel, this time against my Astra Militarum versus your Blood Angels. Second time on the channel. Daniel, how'd it feel?
It was great. I've been enjoying doing this, and I'm always up for games of Warhammer whenever I have free time and people want to play.
Yeah, we actually kind of made a weekend of it. We stayed up late last night, played Simon. You got a game in last night, which you would have seen on the channel, and then went down to GW today. Simon picked up his new codex for the Skitarii, and they still don't have any, so I got some scourges. We're going to see how those work. And then came back and played this 1850 game, which was very exciting.
It was very intense.
So my thoughts on the game, I think where I lost it was my Scion's inability to clear out that back corner. I think I had more than enough firepower to do it, but just wasn't able to kill the tech priest, wasn't able to kill the squad. You made those
Ridiculous saves.
3 5-up saves versus my plasma, and then couldn't do the job in close assault. So in the end, not being able to control that corner allowed Daniel to score a bunch of points. It cost me a bunch of points. And in the end, I think probably cost me the game.
Most likely. Yeah.
And then you made some great plays yourself. You got your Storm Raven up quickly, and then you got it back again to heal it with your Tech Marine.
Yep.
It's a real good strat for you. The Storm Raven did great, but you think your MVP is what?
I would actually go with the Scouts. They didn't do quite as much damage as they did against Simon's Thousand Suns. However, they did drop some damage. They did manage to thin out the ranks back there in the corner a little bit, but most importantly, they were able to grab me a number of objectives. The reason why I was able to gain supremacy, the reason why I was able to gain hold the line, and then also their ability to move out was what gave me the advance as well. So, well, it's not damage dealing as much damage dealing. They were strategically important for getting me those points that put me over the edge, especially since a number of them that they helped me out with were also the seas ground.
The D3 ones.
Well, not just the D3 ones, but they were my tactical primacy, which were the ones I scored additional points.
Oh
for.
yeah, too. Yeah, very good on that stuff.
The Storm Raven, I said it in my battle against Simon, but my Storm Raven by far has been one of my favorite units that I've purchased. We were talking earlier, and it doesn't necessarily always do a whole lot of work. Sometimes it does a little, sometimes it does a whole lot, but regardless, it's able to put work in. It's for 300 points, 14 wounds, the ability to move 25 to 45 to 65 inches across the battlefield. Definitely makes it something to contend with.
It's a winner. Now, you weren't tracking that GW fact tip before you came over yesterday. You still feel strongly, though, that it's a great unit.
I do still feel strongly it's a great unit. I was also very proud of myself because of a lot of the scuttlebutt and word that goes around in the GW world. Has Imperial Guard being rather underpriced and overpowered, and there's been a lot of frustration in general with Space Marines in general and Blood Angels especially, that they were a bit nerfed in this edition. So the fact that they were able to hold their own against Thousand Suns, Blood Angels were able to hold their own against Thousand Suns, and then able to bring out a victory against the Imperial Guard, I think I'm very happy with how it turned out.
Just goes to show you, once you get those Blood Angels in Assault, they are deadly.
They are deadly.
Both in my lines and in your lines, and that's where they did a lot of the work.
And that was the big thing about the Storm Raven is just the fact that I was able to put my 3 most deadly close combat guys right up there in the middle of your Manticores and your Chimeras, and just be able to, first of all, just tie them up and eventually just whittle them down, I think was a big thing in dropping your effectiveness.
Okay, well, you'll see my...
And one thing that we would like to say is, so this is my second time playing against Michael, and it is against the Imperial Guard once again. Michael is...
We don't want to say this, do we?
Michael is known as a great player.
Well, not if you watch the channel.
and a contender, and somehow I've managed to beat him both times.
I have numerous minor awards, but yeah, Daniel is my Peyton Manning.
To his Tom Brady.
Yeah. So, great game. I guess the last thing I'll say, I did enjoy the 3 Primera Psychers. I think that's a pretty good unit. I realized that I could have run 2 battalion formations to give me some more rerolls. I'll look into that in the future, but I'm thinking once the Astra Militarum Codex comes out, it's funny when you look at it, obviously they're Astra Telepathica, and so I'm not sure you're going to be able to get the bonuses or even use a lot of the stratagems, because a lot of the codexes are requiring you to have all the keywords match. So if it just says Astra Militarum, I'm not going to be able to run those Primera Psychers inside a battalion formation. So it was kind of in preparation for that I ran them as their own command attachment. Yeah. Same thing with the auxiliaries. When some of them, you'll notice that you can't give Ratlings or even the Bulgurns orders because they lack the regimental keyword. So anyways, there will be more to come. I hope you liked the video. If you did, please like and subscribe, and we'll be back with more battles.
Also, remember to sign up for notifications so that when we put new videos out, you're made aware of them.
Yeah, because there will be more coming out. So, talk to you guys later. Oh, and say bye. Bye.